It's different.
And that's, yes, there's always that.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's different. I like it because to me, elevator music is great.
Welcome to Room 6. I'm Josh, and today I'm very pleased to welcome the amazing Kella from Dead Money. Say hi.
Hi.
Yes. Now then, before we get into anything else, when's your next show?
We do every Friday at every bar. So,
oh, really?
Yeah, it's going to be pretty... not next Friday, so that would be the 17th, because I'm going to be in Nashville for my birthday.
Nashville?
Yes.
Those are Nashville shades you're wearing.
Oh, yes. You can see my eyes through them a little bit, so it's hard to, I can't use them to pretend I'm not looking at anybody, because you can tell, so...
We all do it.
Yeah.
Okay. So, this should be posted by then, so... Well, not 17th, but Friday after that, swing by Rebar. You'll check them out. Dead Money. They're awesome. Great rockabilly. Mostly rockabilly.
Yeah. I try to do kind of whatever.
We'll get to that. So, question. How long have you been in Vegas?
I've lived here pretty much my whole life. My mom, I was born in Redondo Beach. My mom moved us here when I was 6 months old and haven't left since.
Nice.
Yeah. I tell people I was born and raised here all the time, so.
Once you've been here 10 years, you're a native.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we've been here 15, 16 years, something like that.
Nice.
And yeah, I mean, I barely remember any other place.
Yeah.
It is home. I mean, when you say I'm going home, you're going back to Vegas. So, how long? Now I know Dead Money hasn't been a band very long.
No, well, so
Pardon me.
I had coined the name 2 years ago,
Uh-huh.
and I had different members of the band, and then I cycled through people trying to find the right fit, and now I have the people who fit pretty well. It's been pretty awesome.
And those people are?
Jordan and Jonah. Jordan plays the bass, and Jonah plays the drums, and they both have their unique abilities. I'm very happy I got a chance.
Very much so. If you've ever seen them play, they're amazing. They're amazing. Now, before Dead Money, you were Kella Bo Bella, right?
Yes.
And that was more of that's you with a band.
Basically.
Yeah. I had the Joshua Courtwright band for a while. Yeah. And it feels weird, right?
It does, because it's I mean, as a solo artist, that's fine, and your voice and whatever, but the feeling kind of comes from where all of you are in that pocket and in that moment together creating that music, and I feel more comfortable. That's what I want more. I mean, being a solo artist is cool and nice and sweet and everything, but I'm all about that band thing. I was raised as a band kid. I did band for 9 years in my life, so.
Nice.
Yeah. Played the French horn.
I came to it very late in my life. But I did. How long has Dead Money been this incarnation?
December of last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Officially, I guess that would be 6 months if you want to count all of December. So December through to today.
Great Christmas present.
Yeah. Oh man, I was about to quit music before then. Yeah.
It's funny you say that. Same thing. I took a hiatus, and I really was just done with the whole Vegas thing, with the venue owners, and with the fickleness of crowds and things.
Yeah.
And the bug gets you. It comes back, and I thank my wife because she wouldn't let me sell my gear. At my lowest, I was done. I was really.
It's nice having somebody in your corner.
Even though a couple pieces don't work and I need to get them fixed. How long have you been doing music? You said you're a band baby.
Oh yeah. I mean, my mother threw me in church choir when I was 6 years old. Right. I've been singing out of the womb, essentially. I was raised by a father. My dad was in a band, fortunately. And it's one of those stories that kind of makes me feel sad because he quit music because of me. Yeah. And my mom, there's this whole story where she was trying to tell him to keep doing it and pursuing these goals, but he's no, I want to be a father. And that's cool. And he lives vicariously through me. So I like that they've always been supportive. They've always pushed me to do music. But it wasn't until I was about 20 years old, 21, 20 years old, where I finally picked up a guitar for the first time.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually didn't touch it. I'm turning 30 on Sunday, so I've only really been playing for about 10 years. and self-taught YouTube. It's just chords. But now I can do cool things with my fingers on the fretboard, and now I can already read music, and I just have to be like, A sharp, da da da. So I'm getting there, and soon I'll be a little bit more skilled as soon as that.
Well, when you're a three-piece, it also kind of limits a little bit what you can do in terms of soloing.
Yes.
I mean, you can only drop out so long to do the solo, and then you have to come back in.
Eventually, I want to look into getting like cool effects pedals or the boards, those combo ones where you can preset stuff and able to do like loops, so I can do little solos and things until I can get maybe a fourth player. But
I know some bands, the bass player will have a pedal that'll like suddenly thicken their sound or harmonize their sound.
We've been talking about that.
Yeah, so or just add another member.
Are you even talking about that too?
Yeah. Believe me, and they're done.
Knows. Woohoo! Secrets to come.
See. So, early musical influences for you. We already kind of talked about it.
Yes.
But when you were growing up, what was the music that got you going? Was it rockabilly stuff, or was it other types of things?
That's really tough because it's like, where do I start here? If I want to say my pursuit of music, as far as like wanting to be a musician, I was like, my grandfather and my grandparents raised us.
Mm-hmm.
My parents were always working, so I was around them all the time. And back then in the 90s, remember they had that like oldies station
mm-hmm.
where it was all like, 20s through 60s,
mm-hmm.
And that was all my grandparents would ever play. That, Andrea Bocelli or Celine Dion. And that was it.
That's a bit of a leap.
It was like a music for Italians. That's because they were from Canada and they're Canadian Italians. So
wow.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say, wait, Canada, but
yeah. It was.
I should have worn my Canada shirt.
Yeah. My mother actually still has her green card. She is still a Canadian citizen. I don't know why she doesn't.
Don't blame her nowadays.
I'm telling you, and if I wanted to be one, I can be one. Okay, totally off topic, but jazz was a huge influence because I wanted to be in a jazz band, but then I ended up taking up classical music,
mm-hmm.
and I got crazy. And I mean, I was like, 4 hours of practice a day. Like I was one of those serious band geeks,
right.
And I did solo ensemble. I did, all states. I, tried to get out. I was like first chair in all of my not in all state.
What instrument were you playing in band?
French horn.
Okay.
Yes, the one that is good for Christmas. Dun, 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 dun.
It's amazing how many horn players in band end up playing guitar. I don't know what it is.
I don't know what it is.
My first band I was in, every member of the band except me, they were in their school's high school band before they decided, hey, let's make a rock band. And everybody went to like keyboard and bass and guitar.
Yeah. And
they were all doing different instruments. It was amazing.
Which, I mean, I ended up playing trumpet for a little while too, because with band comes marching band, and if you play the French horn, depending on your school that you go to, sometimes they'll switch to this thing called the mellophone. And it looks like a fat, dumb trumpet. Like it's just stupid.
Yeah, I've seen it.
Yes.
I didn't know it was called mellophone.
Yes. So I hated it. I didn't like it, but I learned how to transition into the B-flat instrument as the trumpet. And I loved playing that. So I ended up playing in jazz band. And then my teacher found out that I could sing. And he's like, wait a second, you have a voice? Oh my God, that's great. You could be the jazz singer for the competition. And I'm like, no, I just wanted to play trumpet. Like,
little did you know. And another one was like, nobody else was going to sing, so I had to sing, kind of things.
It was fun though. And we did I remember the song, it was How High the Moon.
Oh, yes.
Yes. Somewhere there's music. It's such a good song.
Don't sue us.
I only sing like 3 lines.
Yeah. And funnily enough, I've gone now from the indie rock thing. Now I'm fronting. I'm a singer for a jazz band. We're doing jazz standards called the Dirty Martinis. Yeah, Dirty Martinis.
Dirty Martinis. What a cool name. That's awesome.
We just finally nailed down our keyboardist 2 nights ago. Actually, shout out to Spencer. Boom. We're going to be posting gigs and everything soon, hopefully, or at least trying to get gigs.
They're trying to get gigs.
Yes.
Trying to get gigs.
Go to Dirty Martinis, dirtymartinislv.com, LV as in Las Vegas. And if you want to, learn a little bit about us, there's no audio because everything's copyrighted.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So from early influences, let's talk current influences. When you're writing new songs, is there any music that you listen to kind of get you in the mood, or that's like, hey, I want to sound like that current thing?
Yes, I am really into that sound that's coming out of the UK. I love the Black Keys. I love Arctic Monkeys. I love Two Door Cinema Club. That like mix between that like kind of swingy, kind of rockabilly vibe, but also having this standard rock element and also adding a little bit of that beat in there. So it's like an amalgamation of different styles and rhythms to create this really cool dancey sound. I will say though, I'm gonna backtrack just a bit. I really respect the Arctic Monkeys. Their new album is different.
And that's there's always that.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
It's different. I like it because Sumi elevator music is great.
There's a time and place for every kind of music.
There is exactly. I wouldn't play their new album at a party, but I would definitely chill out to it.
Right.
So.
I wasn't aware Black Keys were UK, actually. I don't know why. I thought they're American.
I think they are, but they have a heavily influenced sound, and I heard that they were actually picked up by Alex Turner because they heard them and they're like, wow, you guys are amazing. We're going to sign you under our label.
All right. So the UK sound, the current UK sound is an influence, and I can hear that in your music. Definitely. Here's one of the usual interview questions. How do you define your musical style?
It's easy to. I tell people pop punk, right? Because it's easy. But it's not.
I wouldn't call you pop punk. You're definitely rockabilly with pop punk tinges.
It's like a pop punk rockabilly mix, and I like to sometimes add a little bit of like a R&B in there. Sometimes add that rhythm, I'll have a little ska or a little reggae, depending. Like if you've never heard the band, you have, but. Sometimes we switch up styles, like you've heard in our original music. I get bored halfway through writing a song, and I'm like, okay, I need to change this. I joke around and I say I'm new age progressive prog rock. Like,
okay, sure, bit of a stretch,
really,
but okay.
I know.
All right, that definitely
prog rock light.
Yeah.
Rockabilly prog rock light.
I think your rhythm section would be like, we're not prog rock.
No.
We don't play like 8-minute long solo, drums and stuff.
I also don't change up tempos that much.
Yeah.
So no 11/8. No.
11/8. Those aren't numbers. So moving from your musical style, any musical goals? Like, what is there? Really, like, I want to one day learn this instrument, or I want to really master this style, or
I want to get down to being comfortable with that fretboard. Like I was mentioning before, I'm trying to be more articulate with my fingers, more like being able to solo more, add more, not fill in. So when I do get those pedals in front of me, I can be able, that'll be the next step is that marriage between my playing and the pedals. I have a stomp box, which has, reverb and distortion on it. But I want to be able to be like, okay, now is where we're going to put a nice little flange, or now is where we're going to put that. Because I hear it in my head where it can be placed. I just need the material to do it. So.
And that's kind of, it's a fine balance when you're saying, okay, I'm going to make a pedal board for this set we're doing. I know some guitarists that literally, they change it every show because, well, we're not doing that song, so I don't need that pedal. But we're doing this song, so I'm going to, and they just, have this ridiculous collection, and they end up being toe tappers, tap dancers. And as a front person, it's hard to be the tap dancer and singing. And I remember doing a show at House of Blues where solo time, I stomp on it and I'm playing, crowds into it. I gotta go back. Because we're coming up to the clean part, and I remember that frustration, which is why I'm happy I'm just singing in the Dirty Martinis. But yeah, no, it's a tough. I respect that any person who's like I don't want to just sing when I know I also want to do this.
Yeah.
And also I have sound that I want. I don't want to try to convey it to another guitarist or say, well, what sound do you want?
Right.
So I can definitely understand that. But yeah, definitely get more pedals and experiment stuff.
I'm looking at something that would, because I don't want to go like buying a bunch of things. I think that we live in an age of technology. Mm-hmm. I've seen those. I always forget what they're called, but they're the ones that you can program, and they're fantastic.
You can program in the entire song what's going to happen, and then you get to the next song. You just,
I don't have to worry about. I just hit a button and it's it'll turn off everything else. It'll turn on that one. Digital is. I'm sorry. We live in an age of technology. I love digital tools.
Hell,
why go back? Why go back? Right?
Yeah.
Like analog's okay, but when you can. Like to the professional ear, okay? To the person who was trained on it, they're going to be like, no, it's not the same.
Nowadays, I mean, when I was recording my last album with my bass player, actually, shout out BJ Therio at Redstone Studios. Great studio. If you want to record decent, on the cheap, he's awesome. He pulled up, like, in his I forget what program he's using. I think it's what's the Apple program that everybody uses?
Is it Pro Tools?
Pro Tools.
Nice.
Yeah, he pulled up all these simulators, and I couldn't tell the difference on a lot of them between whether there was an amp plugged in or it was the real thing.
I'm telling you.
And if you can get that, and also within each one, he was able to tweak and add a little bit of this, and so you could say, okay, it's the same as me going over to my amp and adjusting the knobs. Why not?
Why not? That's exactly what I'm saying. So
that's for recording though. For shows, it's a different animal. You do have to be careful because every show has a wild card element.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and if for some reason, if you were to say, okay, this far into the song it changes to this effect, what if you're off on your timing? Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, speaking of shows, favorite show memory. Some show you guys did, as Kella Bo Bella or Dead Money, that you're just like, I'm gonna remember that forever.
Okay, I have two.
Okay.
One is old, and one is more recent. So the first one is when, so as Kella Bo Bella, I did this show. It was so weird. It was like it was a My Little Pony convention.
Awesome! Bronies for life.
And we played out in Seattle, and it was called Everfree. And this was like 2013, maybe. Mm-hmm. And I went out there, and they had a bunch of these like brony musicians, and it was kind of like a music festival for brony artists. It was interesting.
Yeah, because that's how do you even?
There were more than you would think.
And
it was actually pretty big.
That's got to be harder than finding Harry Potter themed.
Right. It was so weird. But I was asked out there because a friend of a friend and blah blah blah, and just singing covers and originals and just a sea of like 300 people just getting along into it and dancing around and having a great. I wrote a song. Specifically for it. It was about Discord, about this whole, it was so fun, and just people were having a blast, and I've never had so many people be engaged. I did 500 miles, right? And it gets to the da-da-da-da, and da-da-da, oh my gosh, I was like almost knocked off stage. It was amazing.
Ain't no party like a geek party.
Oh, jeez. And like afterwards, people were coming up, and it was great. I was dressed as one of the characters.
Which one?
I was Applejack.
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course you were.
Yeah.
All right.
And the most recent one.
Spike.
Spike's awesome though. So last week at one of our at the show at Rebar. It was towards the end of the night, and it was First Friday, so obviously it was like a party,
Yeah.
There was this chick who's super, super drunk, and she gets on, and did you see this happen? I'm trying to see if anybody watched this happen. Oh.
I was at 172.
Oh, okay. When were I'm.
It's okay.
Yes. So Oh, right. Okay, sorry. It all comes together. I'm sorry. So this chick was like on stage and she's grinding while I'm playing and while I'm singing, and in it, she's like grinding on me and like touching me and like putting her hands between my legs. And I'm like, okay, we're doing this. And I'm owning it. And I'm like, getting it. And it was just really cool to like, I didn't miss a beat. I was on it. I was singing to her. It was like almost like a music video, like choreographed. Oh my God, it was great. It was great. I'm like, dude, I want more moments like that. Like, as long as they're not like fucking with my hands or like fucking me up.
Then you're just a dick.
Yeah, well, it's one thing to dance with me.
That is an awesome show memory.
Yes.
It gets weird when you work with the person doing that, and you're gonna see them the next day at work. Yeah, well, she's probably not watching, but
no.
I was playing, and for whatever reason, 3 sets of hands go like this, go down my guitar and my legs. I kept playing, and I was just like, okay, this is gonna be weird. I'm married, right? But yeah, that's definitely a checklist off the Rockstar, to-do list.
Being a musician is an aphrodisiac, to other people who aren't musicians.
It is. All right, so I think I know the answer already, but let's move to favorite venue.
Okay, by law, I'm contracted to sing.
Yeah, right.
No, Rebar is great, but that one's really tough because there's so many good venues here.
It doesn't have to be one you played. It can be just your favorite venue to go hear music.
Brooklyn Bowl.
I've yet to be inside.
I love it.
I want to go. There's so many shows where I'm just like, that sounds amazing, and a bowl. But
they have really good fried chicken.
Really?
We played there as Kella Bo Bella once, and it was 6-7 years ago or something.
When it just started up.
Yes, and it was really awesome. We played with Kevin Kilfeather's band.
Strange Mistress.
Yes.
Trying to get them on. It's schedules.
Yes. But it was so much fun, and they have this green room that's upstairs, and people were like busting out like marijuana and stuff, and like I was like freaking out. So I'm like, oh my God, we're gonna get kicked out. And this guy dumps like weed on a on a plate, and I'm like, fuck, like, oh my God, no. And this chick comes in with like this plate of chicken and just like puts the chicken down.
Like,
you need anything?
Nothing new.
I'm like, I'm a rock star. This is what it's like to be Snoop Dogg. This is what it's like.
Jesus.
And it was amazing. And then they offer you like every member of the band can either choose to get an entree per person or appetizer. And
how many times, faithful viewers, have we talked with bands who are like, just feed us. Like, keep your bar tab. Just feed us. Maybe give us 1 beer. That's awesome. Yes.
Yeah.
I love it when you're like, we can give you, everybody gets 2 drinks, or we'll give you ribs. So give me the damn ribs.
Oh yeah, it was so. The chicken was amazing, and it's just the venue was so open, and the bowling, it's like $70 a game. And then you have the crowd here, and then there's like a separating part, and then the other side of that is the bowling.
But you can definitely hear the music when you're bowling.
And there's bowling upstairs too.
Oh, right.
Yes.
You can definitely hear the music when you're bowling, though, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. We went there. I went there a couple more times to see Dance Gavin Dance and
Which would be hilarious with Kevin Kilfeather.
Oh my gosh, I loved them live. They were so good.
Oh, which one?
Dance Gavin Dance.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's a really good, it's a huge venue, and you can hear everything, even when you're like kind of standing way to the back. It's just this sound that encompasses the whole area. So I think it's like better than Hard Rock is, better than Mandalay.
From what I hear,
Yeah.
I'm not going to disagree. But I haven't been to the joint. The joint seems like, let's pack everybody in to see this famous band, and I don't really care for that so much.
Yeah, it's not. It's okay.
Plus, moving on to, is there a dream show you want to play?
A dream show. I want to open for the Arctic Monkeys.
All right.
That would be amazing. If they came here, which are not, they have nothing in their tour, but that would be, at this moment, that's like dream show. I would say Pie in the Sky dream show, Grammys.
Grammys, why not? I don't know. Do you want a bored audience? I'm just kidding. That would be pretty. That's right on the resume. Bing. You know. I just want to play just once. Doesn't matter what festival it is. I want to walk out and be on. You know, one of those little tiny names on the bottom of the whole list of bands. I just want to walk out and play a festival where a sea of people and they're just happy to be there.
Yes.
And I just want that once. I've played. We've headlined a festival to 50 people in a park. That was cool. But I have some in front of 1,000 school students. That was cool. But
it's not festival status. It's not like Life is Beautiful. It's not like Coachella, which is also one of my goals.
Well, but anyway, moving on. So I have to take a quick side step here. What kind of cake is that?
This is from Portal. It's
It's
a
German chocolate cake.
No, Black Forest cake.
Black Forest cake.
Yes.
Yes.
The one from the game is the Black Forest cake.
You can't see it. She's got a tattoo, slice of cake, and I've been staring at it going, why? And now you say it's from Portal. Okay.
Yes.
I thought maybe this was from my 20th birthday or whatever.
Originally, I was gonna do the blue ring.
Let's talk gear.
Okay.
What's your current gear you're rocking?
Okay. I wish I was more of a gearhead, but I'm learning with time because a lot of people feed you information, and then I do my research online. But what I have right now is just my standard setup. I have a Bugera vintage 22 tube amp head. It is amazing. It has a bright and a regular side. I like to put it in the bright because it adds a little more crunch, especially with my style.
Right.
And then the speaker I use it's a 112, but it's a Celestian Greenback PV.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. It pumps out sound, and it just is this clean, clear. I didn't know what I found at Guitar Center because I was like, somebody was like, you need to buy that. I'm like, okay, because I was looking for a speaker. I bought a head from one of my prior drummers, and he sold it to me for like $150. And then I went to Guitar Center to find.
He sold you the Bugera for $150?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Winning.
I know. He is great. Thank you, Mr. Joe. Mr. Joe.
Yeah.
He's in Arizona now, but like. We were shopping around, and he points out, and he's like, you need to get that. And I'm like, okay. He's like, Celestian Greenbacks are awesome. I didn't know he was speaking Chinese to me. I didn't know what that meant. Went online, figured it out, and I'm like, oh my gosh, Celestian Greenbacks are awesome. So I didn't know that was like the speaker of the 80s. Like that was the standard for rock music in the 80s. And now that I have this and I have this cool crunch to it, plus the Bugera, it's like perfect. And my guitar.
Ah, yes.
Oh, I love it. It is, of course, standard Fender Strat. It's your cut and everything.
Right. Is it where's it from?
Mexico, but it's
okay.
Yes,
that's okay.
It is
it's a proper
special.
Strat,
yeah, it's the special, which means they made it a little bit better. I honestly, maybe it's just me. I'm not trained, but I can't. Other than like the quality of some of the actual bits and pieces of the guitar itself, can't tell the difference between that and American.
And the Japanese are nice if you can get them.
Yeah.
But they're expensive. I don't have. I have a Fender Strat Squire Bullet, so like the short one.
Oh, nice.
That was my very first guitar. It's up in room 6, and it's the white on white, and it was what I learned on. And eventually, when I put on a real guitar, I was like, oh, it's so heavy.
I know.
Because I was so used to this little thing. I had we'll get to that. Any dream gears or something that you have a Wayne's World moment of someday you'll be mine? Is there something you really, 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 really want to get?
I want a Gretsch Gentleman's Edition semi-hollow body, and they are beautiful and huge.
Is that what Dave Grohl plays?
I think it's white. The one I want is white with gold inlay.
Yes, I've seen it. I came this close to pulling the trigger at a pawn shop on one, and I said, no, it's not. It's not what I'm doing at the time. And also, no. You know, just no.
As much as I want that guitar, though,
Mm-hmm.
from what I do,
Yeah.
why? Like,
What I
why
want
would
is
it?
access to one. I want access to one. But when I want, it's like I would love to have access to a Ferrari, but I don't want to own a Ferrari.
Yeah.
Because of I live in a city and I will get.
What are you gonna do with it?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
What I really want. By the way, I have a Patreon page. What I really want is I want to go to Speed Vegas for a day and just thrash a car around the track, and just like go for it. I've never done that because I gotta pay for tires. I'm not gonna do burnouts and stuff. But
that's tight.
yeah,
that sounds fun.
That's what I want. Maybe make a music video out of it.
That'd be tight.
Now from the highs of dream gear, we go to the lows of you ever lose gear.
Yes, I've not a lot that was significant. I lost an amp, like it was like a Fender amp, but it wasn't a great one. It was one of those like you can preset beats to it, you know.
I'm not familiar with that.
It was like a I don't know. It was like you could finagle with it and preset little things to it, and it was like a digital small little.
It was a little practice amp.
Yeah, it was a little practice amp, and I left that at somebody's place, and I like never and they were always like, "Are you gonna get it?" And I'm like, eventually, I'm like, you know what? Keep it.
So you didn't lose it? Like I don't know what happened to it.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just didn't go back to get it, and I told them like you can have it and whatever. I had a guitar stolen.
Suck.
Yeah, that really sucked. It really sucked. And that was 9 years ago. But other than that, not the mostly like the biggest hits were like not musical gear. Like I had a really nice camera stolen out of my car.
Oh.
They smashed my windows, and it was because I left the box in there for just like 2 hours, and somebody smashed the windows to get the box out. Yeah.
They know they can. That's something you can pawn quick.
Absolutely. It was a really nice Olympic camera that I had gotten, and somebody bought this thing for me as a birthday present, and I was so upset that it got stolen. Like,
yeah.
But that was, again, that was like, a long time ago. But what are you gonna do? Move on.
What are you gonna do?
Gotta replace it somehow.
Well, last question. Okay, you made it almost. Any maintenance tips for gear? I know you're still kind of learning your way around what you're doing with it, but do you have any sort of maintenance routine you do, or any maintenance tips about how to take care of your gear?
Don't drop it.
Don't spill beer on it.
Don't spill beer on it. I would say we live in a really dry and arid place, and if you're just starting out and you don't know what to do, I would definitely invest into a teeny itty bitty humidifier.
Yep.
Yes,
Definitely.
I have one. They're teeny. It's like actually this big. I only spent $20 on it. I got it from Walmart, and it has been wonderful. I have a lot of acoustics because I made a couple of mistakes with my guitars, and sometimes I would leave them in my car for too long, and then the bridge would do this thing, and then you have those ding, 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 and dead frets are the mark of being
An acoustic guitar is an unforgiving master. It will tell you when you screwed up.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fortunately, my acoustics stay in the house pretty much now. There's air conditioning and stuff, so I don't bother. I don't need to put a humidifier in necessarily, but I should. Thank you very, very much. That's the interview portion of things. Stick around. Kella's going to play us a couple tunes up in room 6 in front of the guitar wall. I want to thank her again for coming. Down in the description will be links to all of the Dead Money, music pages and stuff. And
Should hear the band.
yes, you definitely should hear that. Other than that, thanks for watching. Thanks for coming to room 6. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Everything you're about to hear sounds way better with the band. if I'm worth it. Someone to hurt me, someone to love. No one is perfect, but how many times do I have to be wrong? You turn it like fire and I'm always getting burned up. It was a hole inside your heart that told this whole damn thing apart, baby. I believe every word you say, but that sickness in my head, it was a hole inside your heart. Broken, don't leave here. Trying to fix myself, to trying to see clear. Don't let it sadness in your eyes that tell me to break that in mind, to complicate that it out. Was just a memory, and you don't have a hold of me, 'cause it was a hole inside your heart that told this whole damn thing apart, baby. Oh, I believed every word you said, but that sickness in my head, it was a hole inside your heart. I'm real young, had to pick my battles, and I fell in line like a good girl told me to. And I learned real young, had to pick my battles, and I think I'm gonna start a fight here with you. And I learned real young, had to pick my battles, and I fell in line like a good girl told me to. And I learned real young, had to fight my battles, and I think I'm gonna start a fight here with you. It was a hole inside your heart, baby, that told this whole damn thing apart. I'm gonna leave every word you say, but that sickness in my head, it was a hole inside you. This is called Back in the Middle, and I wrote it after a pretty serious breakup that happened. We were dating for like 5 years, and it's basically like you go your way, I go my way, and maybe someday when maybe we'll meet back in the middle. Times to learn, sometimes to go, you have to burn everything down and let it hold away. They say that true love remains through the drought, through the snow, through the rain, throughout the night, throughout the change. But if you need to breathe, if you float away from me, I hope that you learn how to push harder, and I learn how to love smarter. If time takes us apart, but I see the remain in your heart. Move on, stay strong, and we'll be back in the middle. wrong to find out what we were all along. Too much just been trying to make it last. Nobody wants to start over again. Nobody wants to lose. But if you think you're certain of it, it's hard to choose. I hope that you learn how to push harder, and I learn how to love smarter. Time takes us apart, but still may make your heart move on. Stay strong, and we'll be back in the middle. Oh. Fighting with what I know is best for me. I know that I'll never be satisfied with anyone there. My body's begging for mercy, please. Know that I'll never get used to being on the shell.
I want to thank Kella from Dead Money for dropping by. It was a great interview and a great performance. If you want to know more about them, click here. If you'd like to subscribe, click here. Once again, thank you for coming to Room 6. We hope you enjoyed it and hope that you remember to be amazing. Have a great day, and we'll see you again next time in Room 6.